What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. I'm Steven. This is Steven in Stereo. In today's video, we're going to be checking out Lovejoy. The song is Call Me What You Like. Huge shout out to Jody over on Patreon. Thank you so much for all of your support. And I actually did, so I haven't listened to much like Lovejoy. I know that Wilbur is the vocalist or sort of the front of this group. I have done a reaction to Wilbur before, which you guys seem to really like. I also did a on Patreon, I did an exclusive reaction to the Lovejoy acoustic set that like was filmed in their living room, and with Tommy, the Minecraft dude, and that was actually really fucking cool. So I'm very much looking forward to this. So we're just gonna dive into it. If you want to see that video that I'm talking about on Patreon, the link's in the description.
Was a fan of the internet.
Same.
Never felt that safe in her own head. We both hate the news. That for the grace of God goes you. Smiling when I ask if she's bored, yeah. We wonder if we
You know, this guitar riff right here reminds me of like sort of the early 2000s, maybe mid 2000s, like pop rock and alternative rock, especially a lot of like the radio stuff. I'm also thinking of like Franz Ferdinand and groups like that just had cool fucking guitar riffs at that time.
too far, both taste confused. Darling, what am I to do?
I love that Wilbur sings with that accent.
Think that I'm the only guy she'll see tonight. You can call me what you like, as long as you call me.
Fuck. Yes. Woo. Dude, this is so sick. Okay, so what I'm picking up right there is being interested in somebody, being this is like a good and a bad thing. So being so interested in somebody, or like needing somebody so much that you don't care if you're the only one, just as long as you were one. Like you need them maybe more than they need you exclusively. And that's great to love somebody and care about somebody like that. But also, you know, at the same time, you definitely want to have that self-worth so that somebody is giving you what you are giving to them. But I love the composition of that hook right there. It is written so well. His guitars come in so heavy, and this is fucking sick. Oh, that bass. Boom, 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 boom. Woo.
So I find myself in your mum's bedroom, fighting with the pink roller blinds. It's on pay-per-view. Just place your bets on who's lost their minds.
Ooh.
You take a pirouette under duvet set. You side with perfect pitch and with time. I'm not made for you, but what else is new? Allah, she tells me that it's nothing. I really hope it's nothing. You can kiss the skin.
Oh my God, it comes in so hard. Oh, that little riff right there. Yes. Oh, boom, 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 boom. Okay, that right there pretty much solidifies what I was thinking, which is that Wilbur's very much interested in this person, cares so much, despite the fact that that person, you know, isn't giving the same to Wilbur. And so because of that, he is living in this constant kind of like paranoia spiral. When he says like you can't stay awake forever, meaning you aren't going to be able to always see what that person is doing. This is where like it's very important to find somebody who has the same values as you do, because then you can trust the person. Trust is honestly the most important part, because Wilbur is literally trying to stay awake to ensure that this person that he's with isn't like stepping out on him. Even though he says he doesn't care, it obviously is bothering him. The other thing too is he's saying right here that the road is paved with very tempting parking spaces, meaning like if all these relationships are just this lot, and if you were to look at the idea that maybe like each parking space is another relationship, she might be parking in a lot more than maybe what he was interested in. And there's nothing wrong with that on her end. Like, you have as many relationships as you want. But when you are in a relationship, if the other person doesn't value that, that's not cool. You're not doing a great thing for them. You're doing a disservice to them. And, this plane is going down. That's all I'm saying.
I'm not paranoid, I'm a realist.
Woo! Oh, yeah. Oh my God. Yes. Woo! Oh my God. They did not have to go this hard on it, but I'm so happy that they did. Bro, he has such a good voice for this style too. Like, there is some really awesome harmonies happening here. You can hear this alt rock sound coming to life so well. I feel like I'm hearing, again, that early 2000s sort of like alt rock sound is very prominent here. I'm immediately thinking about like The Bravery, Franz Ferdinand, just a lot of bands that were like that at the time. You can hear those guitar riffs that are coming in that chorus, especially when those drums roll in, you get that distortion coming in. And Wilbur honestly has such a great voice for this. Like, it just goes so well thematically. I'm a really big fan of him singing with that accent. I never quite understood, like, you'll hear like a record and it's just like the most like normal sounding like American accent, like, yes, but then like the first interview you see with that person, it's like the strongest like British accent, or fucking like Australian's the one that always gets me. Like, I'm like, whoa, where did that come from? And I always thought that was kind of funny, and I imagine that in music it's obviously done on purpose. However, I've always been a fan of artists that just like sing the way that they would probably speak anyways, and Wilbur does that so well here. And I think that when you have that, it does like lend itself to some of those like British rock type outfits. So I'm a big fan of this. Like I said, don't get stuck in this kind of relationship. It seems to me, if I'm understanding the lyrics, and I might not be, but it seems to me like this is a very toxic spiral of being in love with, being important to someone. Let me scratch that. Not being as important to someone as they are to you. So giving a lot of love to somebody who is giving love to you and a lot of other people. And there's nothing wrong with giving love to a bunch of people. The problem is when you're in a relationship, there has to be one, there has to be boundaries, but two, like, there has to be an agreed upon term in the way that relationship is going to go. Otherwise, why even be in it? If you're like Wilbur is here, obviously cares a lot about this person, willing to sort of like sacrifice maybe his own values of sort of this like monogamous relationship if it meant that he could be with this person. But at the same time, you see the destruction that it's causing him, because you can't have one foot in, one foot out. It's just not the way it works. So this is really awesome. Like I said, I did a acoustic Patreon reaction over on Patreon links in the description that I really enjoyed. Let me know in the comment section what you guys think about Lovejoy with this single. I feel like it's banging. Huge shout out to Jody for actually requesting this. I will see you all in the next one. Peace.